Greetings all, welcome back to one of the few final episodes for my Let's Learn series of Tales of Maj'Eyal. Last time with my character we basically stepped foot back into the Sludgenest dungeon, where we basically entered the lush forest. And the basic thing I want to do here is just quickly run through the instance here and sort of get to the end of it. Now I'll note that if you recall from the last time we were in here, there's stuff spawning from the walls. So these guys that are in here, they'll be spawning constantly from the walls. What I really want to do here is look around as fast as possible for the way down. And there it is. And then next thing we do is we're going to just jump down to the stair. Now, Sludgenest is basically 3 levels. The first level is always a fixed start level. The second level is always going to be, this level here of like the stuff spawning and all that. When you get to the third level, this is the third level right here. And basically, it's a very small instance. It's basically sort of like a boss arena. When you step in here, you basically have to confront this guy here. He's the corrupted Oozmancer. This blight-ridden troll was once a proud defender of nature. His corruption is spreading, eating away at the forest around him. So basically, what's happened, this place here, this guy used to be like this sort of a defender of this place, but then he became corrupt, kind of like Norgos did, and now he's basically a threat, and he's basically his corruption is spreading all over the place. Anyhow, we're basically just going to try and kill him as fast as possible. So jump here, do that. Now, after you destroy him, you get yourself an achievement. But more importantly, if you've yet to do so, this actually unlocks the Oozmancer class for you. I'll note that this guy was kind of easy for me here, just because I love this dungeon and came back to it. That's basically why this was so damn easy. But you may want to be careful because this guy can be kind of tough, even if you do what I did, and it's like come back to fight him. Much like in the second level, stuff will spawn from the walls here. But I want to maybe just kill off everything in here, pick up the loots. I'm actually taking a beating here. I've actually got 2 slow effects on me right now, so my speed's been really slowed as a result. And I'm basically crippled. Yeah, I'm just basically sitting here for a little bit, letting these guys sort of come up to me. So if I want to, I could keep staying in here and picking up items from all these guys. But in all honesty, I probably just want to get out of here as fast as possible. So we're going to hit the robbery call in advance. And I'm basically just going to sit here for turns, killing off what spawns. Maybe picking up some items as I sort of, can. But the reason I don't like these Burloos is because, you basically hit one and, nope, I feel like spawning some more, it says. For some reason I didn't have it on. Okay, we're just going to look around. Make sure I picked up, all the stuff that's at least sort of hanging out. And damn, I got slowed there a little bit. I know this slow movement would be a real big threat to me, but it's not really that big of a threat. Got a few turns. And there we go. So that's basically what Sludgenest is. Just as a quick sort of, run in here and, look around. You can pick up a lot of items from stuff in here because these guys always drop items when you kill them, and they do give you a little bit of experience as well. But personally, I prefer not to be in this like sort of dungeon because it's not really friendly, and you know, it's all these oozes and stuff like that constantly popping out. Sadly, all this stuff is, you know, kind of low level because I came in here and I set the level very low, so all this stuff in here is going to be, you know, lower level as well. So now this really interests me. I didn't say this ring here. This ring here has at least got some stuff on it that's actually possibly worth, you know, using it for. I just want to compare it against the other ring I've got. So this ring here is undoubtedly worse. Alright, so that's basically what Sludgenest is. It's basically you go into it, it's basically going to be a lot of oozes spawning constantly, and then when you get to the end, there's basically that corrupted ooze master troll. You kill him, you basically, you know, stop the corruption, so to speak. They'll keep spawning from the walls after you kill him, but basically you kill him and then you unlock ooze master if you have to do that. There's really no real reason to go to Sludgenest other than that, really, so I don't recommend going there unless you really want to unlock ooze master. Now, at this point, my character, just to sort of reiterate what's going on, I'm at level 44, but I want to be a lot higher level than I currently am before I enter the final dungeon. My main goal then is to try and level up twice. I want to get up to level 47 before I step foot into the high peak dungeon, and then from there I can just, you know, do whatever. I'm going to keep leveling up to blind speed here so I can have this like sort of like passive buff. And over here, I'm basically just going to boost this up. I'm going to try and boost this up to 60, boost willpower up a little bit more. All nice stuff. I'm actually going to move this down, I think, just because this rush ability is cool and all, but I prefer to have that second blind speed right there. Note that I've got these two blind speeds. I actually want to test this to see if this sort of works. But basically, if I hit this, and I hit this... Alright, I'll note that these two are basically the same effect here, so I basically can't make them overlap with each other. I can only have like one or the other going on at a given time, so if I click this and like, you know, wait a couple times, click this, it's simply just going to refresh it with the better option or the worse option depending on what I'm using basically. But both those options are very useful for my character. And there's a nightmare horror. I'm not sure, yeah, we haven't killed these guys yet because they don't have any kills from. Nightmare horrors are one of the really rare type of horrors that sometimes pops out. These guys, they're basically a mix of Slipifist and of like, you know, darkness type of guys with a gloom ability on top of it. They're basically nightmares, but they're not really that tough. We're basically just going to rip through this guy. What's my light radius at? I've only got a light radius of 4. What's that caused by? Something's cutting down my light radius a little bit. And to be honest, I'm not sure what my light what is cutting down my light radius a little bit. I'm sure it's something that or another, but whatever. Anyhow, we're basically just gonna go explore this dungeon here and a couple other Farportal dungeons to get my character up a little bit. From the looks of this dungeon, I see lots of wolf type of enemies, so that's a sort of like type in this dungeon, I guess. It looks like there's a few Earth Elemental Zorn type of guys. I can tell you that Zorns, Zarens, wolves, and what looks to be like, you know, as far as few orcs are the main theme of this dungeon that was randomly spawned for me. Very interesting layout. It's basically a honeycomb type of shape. This actually looks like a dungeon for like killer bees if you played back in the Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup era where they had like that sort of dungeon branch with killer bees in it. Looks like drakes are a little bit of a mainstay of this dungeon. Orcs are definitely featured here. Looks like warrior type orcs. And assassins. So, I want to go hit that, I guess. That summoning trap. I think there's another one there too. Alright, so it's definitely warrior type of orcs, wolves, and then random other stuff that's sort of popping out here, I guess. Is what this dungeon is going to be featuring for us. And this is, you know, a good follow-up to sort of show off what, you know, these average, like, Farportals might be. Sometimes we get, like, you know, nothing really tough about the monster types that are spawning. Sometimes they'll be a little bit tougher. Like that first one I spawned with, like, all those damn eldritch horrors popping out of nowhere. That was fun. This is actually not bad, this amulet here. Though it doesn't look that much better than this one here. Now, you know what, it is actually better. It's better for one reason. It's got the stats on it, like will on it, and I'll note that if I put this on this will thing, it'll actually boost up my mana a little bit. Won't actually do that right now, but it's something I could do. Track. Looks like demons are also featured here a little bit. And there is our unique guy. We basically got ourselves a Snow Giant Chieftain. He's got arcane combat for himself and a couple of other things. He could be a bit of a threat. Might not be. Let's use these summoning traps, I guess, to pop out some guys. Free experience, that's pretty much what I'm here for, right? Found a trap summoning alarm. Now, if you hit one of these traps to summon the alarm, this is actually going to make all these guys alert to my presence, I think. They're not moving though, so that's kind of good. Alright, these guys are going to be kind of a nuisance. I got at least 3 of these guys here. That guy just disappeared. He's actually stealthed, so this guy's actually a stealther. For some reason, Fluffy's still on. Okay, there he is. Boink. So we're just going to do that. Damn. Well, now my vision range is now reduced to 8. I'm blind like crazy. This will be fun. Note that I basically have a rogue type of arcane blade here. So he's basically going to be able to do a whole bunch of crap on me. If I give him a chance. Wish I didn't. Alright, they're all dealt with. Looks like this guy dropped the Umbral Razor for us. This is actually not that bad dagger to actually consider for a late game because it's got darkness resistance on it, but we'll probably not use it. There's a Vortune ammo apparently. So that dropped. It's too bad I haven't seen what I need to sort of make that sort of relevant. Those amulets would have been nice too, but it's easy to pop up, so oh well. And I'm going to have portals spawning underneath my feet constantly. And we got ourselves a storm worm over there. Pearl appears beneath my feet. And again. Wormick. Some high pyromancer just popped up there. Okay, we got at least 2 of these pop up. It looks like there's also some rogues that are spawning on this template. Alright, well that seems to be it for this dungeon. So note that this was a 2-level Farportal instance. Sometimes you'll find these instances that are like only 2 levels wide, and you know it's just going to be a very quick instance to sort of jump through it. Sometimes it'll be a little bit longer, and it'll take a little bit more to go through them. So there's like one Farportal run there. If I do this again, now we're in another one. Oh boy. Oh, look at that. There's a worm that walks right there. But yeah, if you can't already tell, this is an ooze themed with some wormix. Or not wormix, but I mean, there's some dragon type enemies, there's oozes. And then there's like that worm that walks there, like a couple random guys popping in. But this is going to be an ooze themed dungeon. I will not like this dungeon. This guy popped out. Well, he's down and done and out of the way. Yes, let's go deal with these damn oozes. They're out of the way. There's the big worm. So many explosions, just boom, 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 boom. Yoink. Let's go to this summon trap. Yeah, I'm summoning oozes purposely for experience. It's not something I enjoy doing, but I mean, I'm trying to get experience, and I want to know. You want to take what you can with these exploratory Farportals. I could probably just, continue on to the next one, but there's a high chance it'll be like a tougher dungeon, and there's actually something to be really worried about. Sometimes you'll actually find exploratory Farportals due to the random nature of these dungeons being formed, that you're going to basically come across something that's going to be really dangerous. I've actually had that happen where I ran into like the really dangerous enemy that my characters couldn't face really well, and they basically had to retreat by destroying the Farportal. And I'll basically get to that possibly when I get my experience I basically need. Funny. Brittle clear ooze, breeze sand. We've got ourselves one of those damn worm type of rares, and it's an ooze. Alright, that's good enough. Step here. That was annoying. As you can see, though, I'm getting some good experience coming to these Farportals. I started this, this level like just a little bit before, or I started the Exploratory Farportal just before I was like just touching level 44. I've already gotten 50% experience coming to just 2 of them. So Exploratory Farportals are a good place to go for experience if you really need to pick up experience for some reason. On like this character, like the Florin, I have such a high like experience penalty for leveling up my character. It's actually it's actually concerning if I don't level up a little bit more. But yeah, for the most part, usually you don't have to come to these Exploratory Farportals. It's just really good to go to if you are like on a high experience character like a skeleton or a Florin or I think a halfling. Those characters, they take a little bit more to to level up their characters. So this helps make up the difference. Alright, I want to go to here, and I want to basically hit track. What have I got? I don't see any unique popping up, so it looks like we've got at least another level after this to go. As you can see, I'm just sort of breezing through all this stuff. I'll note that this is sort of like a cause of just because I've got a really powerful character. I don't expect I'll have any problems going through the Exploratory Farportal or even going through the High Peak dungeon after this, but you should probably be wary walking around. I'll note that these guys, if you look at the level, these guys are like all like the same level as me. So these guys all have a good chance of being able to be threatening if a good spawn pops up. I realize that's just, kind of not worth it, but I just want to hit all these guys quickly like that. Normally I'd be a little bit more careful using my Relentless Pursuit, but it's fine using it here for now. Alright, that cube there took a little bit of beating. Because he was a Mind Slayer, partly, but he still took a real big beating before he went down. That was annoying. So much stuff is popping out, you know. That's actually a fairly decent dagger right there. This slows global speed by 3% when it hits. 20% chance to do lightning arc. That's actually worth possibly saving. This is another one of these explosion type talent daggers. I changed my resistances a little bit. That actually changed. Oh, that's actually really good. That actually gives me combat speed and casting speed and resistances. So I actually thought that was the helmet. It's actually the armor. The Untouchable is actually sort of like worth using. You know, this for the shield that potentially comes up in emergencies, but this is actually worth. No, this is actually kind of a decent armor right here because of the speed it sort of gives. That's actually really nice to sort of consider. Now, I was sort of keeping this because I thought I might use it, but I'm wondering if I really should. I guess this is actually worth using over the Radiance there until I actually pick up, until I get to the final boss fight. Radiance will be nice for the final boss fight, more so than it will be up till then, so I'll keep this for when we actually get to the boss fight, but not actually before it. And then there's this stuff here. What was I going to do with all this stuff? So let's see here. I've got this here. Got this here. Just changed my penetrations to give me, you know, the chance to explode on stuff. This actually gives guys the chance for amnesia, which actually puts their stuff on cooldown. So this is kind of cool for bosses, but I'm going to say this is a little bit worse than the other dagger I've got currently equipped. I'm not using this for whatever reason. Probably should be using this. I'll actually want to maybe save this for the bosses. This is actually a really nice dagger for using against the final bosses, just because it's got that Spydrick poison. And this would be good too. I'm actually gonna get rid of these daggers here. They could be useful in the final fight, but they're lower level and probably not what I'm gonna really be bothering to use them for. I actually probably don't need this anymore, so let's just get rid of it. And I'll keep this because I might actually use that Dwarven pick there for when I actually get to the final boss, if I decide to go with Arcane Might for a Prodigy. Okay, worms. And lots of dragon types. Lots of ooze types. It looks like we're going to have yet another level to go through, unless there's a unique right over here. Hello, Mr. Boss in this instance. So there's the boss. He's a doomed and he's got deflection and call shadows. What is this guy? Oh boy, this guy is a doomed and a corruptor by the looks of it, because he's got dark portal on him. Yeah, this guy'll be fun. Or actually, no, he's got rend. Excuse me. This guy could be a Reaver. Maybe. Yeah, okay, so if you see a guy with corrupted strength, these guys are usually Reavers, so that guy's a Reaver and a Doomed all put into one. So he's going to be interesting, to say the least. Look at that. You know what I forgot to do? Actually using these ones instead of the other ones. Though you got to see a little bit of what the lightning does. I want to use those against the bosses, but we'll keep using these standard daggers for now. I'll note that I'm using this like Swordbreaker here, even though it's got a low damage output, for a simple reason that it has that extra defense, it has that dagger block that I'm not really using, but it's also got disarming immunity. Disarming immunity is really nice, because it actually plays in a lot with protecting my character from disarm attempts. It's up here. I saw 2 of these down here, so yoink. That is beautiful to watch. Pest control. Kill 1,000 Reapers and Vermin, so you get that if you kill 1,000 ooze type of enemies. Not that hard with fire portals. There's another one of these warding rings. There's another one of these. These give these actually give nobly a whole lot of confusion and stun freeze immunity. This actually gives a little bit more. This just gives more confusion matter. Let's get rid of all this stuff. Push on. Yoink. And those guys are dealt with. Yoink. Yoink. Alright, here's the boss. So this guy's definitely a doomed. He's basically got call shadows, so that's basically a sort of telling point that he's a doomed. There's a shadow over there. I want to basically maybe do this to him to try and cripple him down real quick. Got a stun on him. Kill off his shadows a little bit there. And that's it for him. And we just got a really cool ring. So witness the ring that is the War Master. So this is a very special ring. And just from a quick glance of it, you can already tell what it's all about. This basically boosts up all the various techniques in game. It basically lets you get better at all the different types of like things you could possibly do with like weapon talents. So you've got like a couple of my talents in there, a couple of the two-handed ones for berserkers or bulwarks or just anything's in here. There's even archery's in here too. So this is actually like a great like warrior type of ring right here. This is going to give you a big little boost in physical, critical chance, physical power, stats, but more importantly, it's just going to give you all the boosts in the techniques. So you'll do more damage with like your weapon techniques if you're using them. Really cool ring. It also gives you a little bit of armor penetration, which is nice too. I think I should still prefer this one just because it gives disarm immunity, it gives critical multiplier, and it gives maximum life, but this is actually something I usually wear on a lot of my characters that are like warrior based. So that's actually a kind of cool drop to see. Yep, I sort of just rushed in here and... Ow. Oopsie. I thought it was a bad thing to do, but I didn't actually mean to walk in here and trigger that trap just yet. Okay, so that's it for this dungeon. So there's a little bit more for running through Exploratory Farportals. I'm going to do one more for this episode. Basically, the purpose of doing this is to sort of punch up my character's level as fast as possible. One more should get me over to 46. And let's have a looky around. So basically, the guy sells a couple rares. It looks like Minotaurs are our mainstay of this dungeon. Minotaur type enemies. There's also some undead running around. I see a vampire. I see another vampire. There's a skeleton mage I killed. There's a skeletal warrior right there. A couple spiders. So it looks like undead, Minotaurs, and a few other things might be popping around here for this one. Oh, I should actually look at this guy. Awesome! Alright, you're about to see something that I'm going to basically let happen just so that you can actually see it. But this guy's a corruptor, and he's going to do something very special in a moment. Alright, so you didn't really get to see this the first time. I wanted to sort of show it off with like the Grand Corruptor, but welcome to Fearscape. Fearscape is basically this sort of like mini arena where like a corruptor enemy can basically send you to it. He'll basically heal while he's in here, but I'll take damage from fire, like from the lava floor constantly. It's basically a very, a champion type of instance, so to speak. So we're just going to do this, do that. I want to basically run up to this guy. Fear me not, survive the Fearscape, so you get an achievement for the first time you basically survive it from the Corruptor. Because it's such a horrendous, like, an event. And is that really it for this level? Alright, this is a good example where this instance, there's basically a bunch of guys that are sort of locked away behind walls. So I'm going to have to basically go find them. So we're just going to move over to here. I'm just going to keep exploring from this direction for now. There's still guys all around, so I go find them, Whoops. We're just going to step on this guy. Oh, there's this guy now. And I think there's a little bit more. Let's go this way, I guess. Let's go like that. This is kind of getting annoying, isn't it? And yeah, this will happen. You'll basically get to see broken instances kind of like this. Oh, you're over there. Now we're just going to dig like this. Whee! Is that it? Nope, there's still more. Yep, lots of digging. I'm just gonna click that guy to death. Alright, there we go. We've managed to kill everyone on the level. So this just shows that you sometimes have to dig a little bit to get the areas, and this is a very good instance where I had to do quite a bit in this dungeon layout. Okay, so sometimes this will happen. You'll get a boss spawning literally on top of you from the start of the instance. Nothing I can really do about that. It's just, just gonna happen. Don't need to look for him, at least. We're gonna activate all this stuff. I'm basically going to shadow step that guy. Do this. Do this. And the boss is dead. So there we are. We're up to level 46. Almost got this maxed out. A couple more levels and I'll get this up to full. A few more level points for that. Let's see. I'm going to show. By the way, note something there. I basically cast Shadow Step to try and get to this guy, but I couldn't reach him. So Shadow Step can fail if you can't reach the sort of subject you're trying to get to. You have to be able to step next to him, basically. And obviously there's more to his level. Or maybe there isn't. So that's actually it for his level. So guess what? That's actually a very small instance. So that can happen. Change the stats. Gives resistance 7% all. 7% all is actually really something worth noting on this thing. It's actually not that bad. Also gives it 30% chance to use diseases. This actually isn't too bad a helmet, but it's not really one for me. Disease, torment. Corroding armor is not that bad, actually. Corroding armor will let me basically rip through the fleshy bits a whole lot easier. Alright, so that's a few Farportal instances for this Let's Play episode. I'll basically come back to continue doing these, like, exploratory Farportal runs until I basically get my character up to 47, or I might even go above 47 a little bit, just to make sure I get to level 50 before I get to the final fight. Basically, the thing about the Floran character, I don't want to basically run into the final dungeon, get up to the final bosses, and be level 49 or less. I want to be level 50 before I get to the final fight, because it basically, level 50 is like a really great place to be before a final fight, because you get an extra stat boost and like class points and stuff like that. You basically get more a reward for leveling up to 50 than any other level. So I want to make sure I get to level 50 before I get to the final bosses. And I'll note that because I got, you know, my this cloak basically gives a big mana boost, so I can actually use this maybe now, sort of, you know, while I'm sort of, you know, got room for it. So I'll use when enemies are visible. And I'm going to say that'll be it for this episode. Next time we'll basically come back and do this again for a little bit more. Hope you enjoyed, though. At least I got to show you Fearscape finally, so take care.